Welcome to the Becks, a podcast that explores multimedia horror with hosts Becky and Sydney. Join us as we talk about movies, books, video games, music, and much, much more.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks. And this week we're talking about
Candyman.
Candyman.
Stop saying it.
I didn't even think about
it. Like, no, we're not doing that.
There's no mirror in here anymore. We would be safe, allegedly, right?
Maybe? I don't know. I'm not taking chances.
They play kind of fast and loose with the rules in the movie.
They do.
So, okay.
We decided to do Candyman because Tony Todd passed away just recently. And when I told Sydney, she messaged me back, I've never seen that movie. And I was immediately, okay, we need to do it then.
Yeah.
So, thought it was a proper time to honor Tony Todd and the movie, and kind of a classic movie if you've never seen it. It's filmed released in 1992.
Yeah, and it's based on a short story by Clive Barker. Clive Barker, of course, was the author of The Hellbound Heart, which inspired the Hellraiser movies.
Hellraiser's always bothered me. Those were creepy movies. The original one really messed with me. I don't know if I've ever seen any of the rest, to be honest with you. Because the original one I watched probably when it first came out, and it freaked me out really bad. So
Clive Barker's kind of a fucking weirdo. That's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, if you've ever seen Hellraiser, it's sex demons, essentially. All of them. All 7 movies, however many they are, they're all about sex demons. So, and this one is also weirdly sexually charged.
Oh, super sexually charged. Yeah. I didn't remember that, really, at all. When I said, we should watch that.
If you're into dark romances, if you're a dark romance girly, you'll eat this up.
Oh, for sure.
Yummy. It'll give you candy.
Sweet like honey.
So, they really do never explain why he's called the Candyman.
No, they actually don't give an explanation.
But that's just the title.
Yeah.
And the movie's weird. So it kind of... There's some kind of social commentary happening in this movie about, like, the ghettoization of different neighborhoods and how white people are more likely to be helped than black people when it comes to crimes and murders and stuff like that. And the main character, Helen, is a white lady.
She is.
And
she's not a real smart white lady, sorry.
She isn't. Well, most white ladies aren't. Let's be honest. In horror movies, they're all stupid as fuck.
This is true.
So it's not like
it's
real surprising. So yeah. It's about these 2 Chicago graduate students, Helen and her friend Bernadette. They're writing a thesis for their doctorate program about urban legends. So they're investigating different urban legends around. The movie opens up with them interviewing a bunch of other college students, and on like what their favorite urban legend is, or the one that really scared them, or what have you. And that's when she comes across the tale of Candyman.
Yes. It's a fun tale.
It was a fun tale.
It starts out so weird, though.
It is weird. It's, okay, so he operates much the same way Bloody Mary does. So you say Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror and she's supposed to appear or whatever. Well, in this case, you say Candyman 5 times in a mirror and he appears to kill you.
Yes, he got you from groin to gullet.
Groin to gullet.
With his
hook hand. Yeah, his hook hand.
With his hook hand.
So I do, like, I didn't know nothing about the movie when Becky mentioned it, and I'd seen something on Facebook that day too, but I knew about the bees. I remember just picturing the bees. I don't know why. Like, I must have either seen a clip of it on YouTube or maybe my parents had watched it and I caught a glimpse of it or whatever. So I remembered that, and I remembered his hook hand.
His hook hand.
And that was it. That's all I remembered. So when did you first watch it? Like when it first came out?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I know I didn't see it in the theater, but on VHS I watched it, and I graduated in.
What's a VHS?
Shut up. Go away. Nobody likes you.
Oh man.
I graduated in 91, so I probably saw it when I was in college.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who I saw it with. I can't remember, where I was. But yeah, it was back when it was pretty new that I watched it.
So, do you remember people talking about it? Was it...
Yeah, all my friends wanted to see it because it was supposed to be scary.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
And it scared you?
It disturbed me.
Mm.
Yeah,
There's lots
that's
of
what I remember
disturbing.
is it was disturbing. I never wanted to watch it again because it was disturbing.
Mm.
I am afraid of bees. Well, I'm not afraid of bees. You know that. I'm allergic to bees, so I'm afraid that they might kill me one day. So that's a little disturbing. And the hook thing's always a little weird because my dad had a hook. Not a very sharp hook that you could disembowel people with, but he had a hook because he was a double amputee. So the hook thing, I told you, like, hands that are... No. Hand horror is scary to me. Just, disembodied hands and hooks and things like that. A little weird for me. So, yeah.
So they find out through their research that the Candyman legend came about because of the death of a son of the slave.
Yes. He was very well educated. His father had built a very successful business.
Something about shoes.
Yeah, something, yeah. Some kind of equipment for shoes or whatever to mass produce them or something.
Yeah.
And so he was sent to the best schools. He was well educated, but he was a great artist as well. And so he was commissioned to paint a wealthy white man's daughter. Sydney just dropped her cap to her milk.
You don't have to out me by telling people that I drink milk casually.
What's wrong with drinking milk casually?
People judge people.
Oh, don't judge because people drink milk.
Yeah, I'm a milk drinker. What about it?
Sure.
Anyway, so he didn't just paint her, he fucked her and got her pregnant.
Yeah, they fell in love, madly in love. He
Yeah.
fell in love.
But she was a white lady.
She was a white lady.
And he was a black
Did they
gentleman.
say he got her pregnant? I don't remember if that was said.
Oh, maybe it was implied.
So, yeah.
Well, like, how else would the father had found out?
Maybe they walked in on them, or she was going to run away with him, or something.
Wow.
But anyways, so he hired a bunch of people to chase him down, and
he was killed.
he was brutally massacred.
So they sawed...
He was brutally killed.
They sawed off his arm with a rusty axe or saw or whatever.
And stuck a hook in its place.
Which,
I don't know why. I don't understand any of that.
Yeah, why. And then there was like a bee, like the father like kept bees or something, and they slathered him in honey and set the bees on him.
He was stung to death.
Yeah.
So, even though they cut his hand off and put a hook there, he was still alive, but then they had the bees sting him to death. So it turned him very angry.
Is that a thing that can happen? Like, if you're not allergic to bees, can you literally be stung to death?
Yes. Too much poison. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was probably a stupid question.
No, not a stupid question, but yeah, because after so many stings, I would imagine your body can't naturally, the antihistamines can't fight it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
That seems like a horrible way to die.
And then if you are allergic, it's even worse. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Quicker, though, probably.
Might be.
That was a dark.
Your
dark thing to say.
windpipe shuts off and you just suffocate. So, there you go. Fun times.
Yeah.
Not so much. Anyway, so they killed him. And.
So, my thing is, why would people summon him?
Why do people try to summon Bloody Mary? Why do people...
Well, I don't understand it. Like, someone explain to me why you would... Because, I mean, okay, I guess this is coming from a hypocritical place, I guess. Because me and my friends did the Bloody Mary thing. Everyone I know has done the Bloody Mary thing. But the thing is like, you don't think it's real when you do it.
Exactly. So that's probably why they did it. Because they don't think it's real.
They didn't think it's real. But then it was real because he got him from groin to gullet.
Yeah.
Every time. So, one of the opening stories is about Candyman, and it's about this babysitter who cheats on her boyfriend. Like, this guy rolls up in a motorcycle. And
he's a bad boy, and her boyfriend's a good guy, so she's attracted to the bad boy.
Yeah. This actor that rolls in, though, is like 40.
He does look much older.
He doesn't look like the same age as her at all, and it seems like a big age gap. Now, I know that people age differently in years past because everyone was just smoking cigarettes like it was their job, and that shit ages you. But he legitimately looked a lot older than her.
He did.
And not in an attractive way.
No, he was not an attractive actor. Sorry. I shouldn't say that. That's mean.
Well, but he's probably dead.
Because in 1992, he's probably dead.
Listen, that was 30 years ago.
I know. I am well aware.
He was like 40, so he could be in his 70s. He could be dead.
She doesn't offend me at all. Well, I'm looking him up now. You keep talking.
So the girlfriend, okay, and this is when I said, like, it kind of plays fast and loose with the rules because she says it 4 times and then has the dude she's cheating on her boyfriend with. He finishes it. And then she dies. And his hair turns white.
Yes.
And why is that? Is it because she said it more times than he did?
She said it the last time.
No, she said it the first 4 times. Oh, she did
say it the first 4 times.
Yeah, because she was saying it in the mirror and he was rubbing on her boobs.
Yeah, again, weirdly sexual. I don't know where... She literally starts making out with him and then hauls him into the bathroom to look in the mirror and say this 5 times.
Yeah, she's like, you know what'd be sexy? You know what'd be cool foreplay is if we...
So weird.
Try to summon this urban legend.
Yes.
I cannot relate to that. I've never done that, so... I guess it was very thrilling.
Maybe? I don't know.
Didn't pan out, though.
No, it didn't work out well for apparently either of them.
There's a lot of religious imagery in this movie, too, because she was wearing a cross necklace, like a big one. Not like a rosary, but it was a big cross necklace. And then above Helen and her husband's bed, there's a huge crucifix that you see multiple times in different shots. So
the actor that played that character is Theodore Ramey. He's actually born in Michigan, born in Detroit, and he's only 58. So apologize to
So
Ted
he was
Ramey.
in his late 20s when he filmed that?
Yeah. Maybe. People looked older back in the 90s.
Oh my god. Oh, he looks the same. No, I'm just kidding. He does look a little bit older. Okay, I'm sorry. What was his name?
Theodore Ramey.
Theodore Ramey, my deepest, sincerest apologies.
Mine too, because we said you weren't attractive. But
well, you need to lay off the cigarettes. That's all I'm going to say.
You're so bad. She's so bad. He was in... he's known for his roles in the works of his brother Sam Raimi, including a fake Shemp in The Evil Dead.
What?
Yes. Possessed Henrietta in Evil Dead 2 and Ted Hoffman in the Spider-Man trilogy.
Oh, shit. He's a Raimi? Like, a Raimi.
That's what I said.
So we're going to edit all of this out because my reputation cannot handle this. My boyfriend would gut me from groin to gullet if he knew that I was disrespecting a Raimi. Oopsies.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to just not say anything for the rest of the episode. Take it away, Becky.
So anyways, the guy in the story was very sexy and handsome and did a great job at his part.
So good.
And we enjoyed his role before his girlfriend, or not girlfriend, but the little skank that was going to hook up with him was slaughtered. Good job, Ted Raimi. Impressive.
Which I will say, she allegedly knew about the legend. She didn't, explain it to him at all. So I feel like he's pretty innocent.
Maybe that's why he didn't die.
But
except for when he died later.
Well,
because he lost his mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie is hard. It's not hard to follow, but it's different than any other horror movie. I mean, most horror movies, you go into it, you're already seeing the horrible, evil monster.
Yeah, when we were watching it, I even commented to Becky, we were like halfway through the movie and we hadn't seen Candyman yet.
Yeah.
Like, we'd seen him murder people, but we hadn't actually, like, seen him. Like, it was just the, like, okay, that lady died horribly because Candyman got her, but you don't see it happening. You just see the aftermath, and all these people are talking. Like, it really kind of builds him up as a character.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because it doesn't, like...
And Tony Todd was amazing. Once you do see him, and he's got that deep voice, and he's just kind of mysterious, you kind of are like, oh, okay.
You want to give him an exquisite kiss?
An exquisite kiss, yes.
So, Helen doesn't believe in any of this. She hears about this weird murder that happened in, what is the place called?
Cabrini Green.
Cabrini Green, which is is that like a suburb?
An area in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah. So, and this movie is totally shot and filmed in Chicago. And this is when Cabrini Green was still standing. They've since kind of gotten rid of that whole neighborhood, haven't they?
I believe so.
Like gentrified it or whatever. So it was a really poor neighborhood. A lot of poor black people lived there. And it had a reputation for being very dangerous. That's where the murder happened. And Helen told Bernadette, like, hey, we need to go check this out. And Bernadette's like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
We can't just go there.
Cabrini Green was actually a public housing complex.
So it was just
the complex.
One complex, okay.
Yep, and they actually began demolishing it in 2000, and now the last of it was torn down in 2011. They have redeveloped it into a mixed-income neighborhood with upscale, high-rises, townhouses, and row houses, so, yeah.
Gentrified.
But it was a very scary place, one of the roughest neighborhoods from what we've been told and what we've read. It was not good. And so, yeah, rough place to be. Rough place to live, I'm sure.
And I should mention, too, Bernadette is a woman of color. She was not a fan of trying to go into this neighborhood. And
No.
Helen was like, if you don't want to go, I'll just go by myself, which was fucking crazy, by the way. Okay, this is when we were like, oh, Helen is of questionable intelligence.
Yeah, and it wasn't like she went into it quietly or she went into it respectfully. She just barged in there like she had every right to be there, and she was looking up stuff, and oh well.
Yeah,
she
it pissed me
disturbed
off.
people, some of the residents, one in particular, she was disturbing her, just really pushy, and it was obnoxious.
Yeah, especially, and Bernadette even told her, like, you need to stop, like, treating this just like, because they were co-authoring this thesis, so they were writing it together, and Bernadette was like, dude, you need to back off. Like, a woman actually died here. Like, a murder actually happened here, and it didn't seem like Helen was really taking it seriously or being respectful at all.
No.
It was very, like, her just brash whiteness, and this is coming from a white person, really was pissing me off in this movie.
Yeah. She was putting other people at risk, too. She was putting the residents there that would talk to her at risk because other people don't want her there.
Yeah.
And she acted like... almost like she was entitled to be there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of frustrating watching it. You just wanted to slap her upside the head and say, hey, stop. You're...
Especially because when she was trying to get information from different residents, she repeatedly told them, oh, you won't get in trouble. It'll be our secret, blah, blah, blah. Like, she was saying these things, and she really had no right to... She didn't take any responsibility for it. Like, she really just thought that it would be fine. But when some members of the community learned that she was asking about the Candyman legend, they actually threatened her and beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And she immediately...
hit her over the head with a hook.
Yeah. They had a... Dude was just dressed up like him.
Yeah.
And so she went to the cops, and the cops searched the whole complex for suspects.
Mm-hmm.
It took like 5 of them to the police station so she could identify them.
No, she had talked to a little boy who had told her some stuff about Candyman.
Yeah.
And so then she put him at risk too, and he was very upset. He's like, you promised me. They're going to kill me. Candyman's going to kill me. You promised me.
Yeah, and he was just
a little boy.
Yeah.
And then the one lady that she did disturb that was very upset and didn't want her there.
Anna Mae
let her into her home, and then Candyman appeared.
took her baby.
And the thing is that nobody else summoned him. It was her that summoned him.
Yeah, she did.
And everybody else was dealing with the consequences of it because she didn't believe. So he was attempting to make her believe by doing these things.
Mm-hmm. Which I do kind of... It's kind of funny to me. Well, he Candyman says a couple different times in the movie, like, their power is what makes me be able to do this. Like,
Exactly.
Their belief gives me the power.
Yeah, he calls people that believe in him his congregation.
Yeah.
It's creepy. He's pretty creepy.
He's cool, though.
He is super cool. I really liked him.
And sexy.
Yeah. Tony Todd did a good job with that character, just being... Yeah, and it's a whole, there's a really big sexual tension dynamic between the two of them.
Between Helen
and Candyman. And gets weird. Gets weird and freaky. But
freaky with a capital F.
Yeah, so lots going on in this movie.
Yeah. And like Becky said, the story is told in a really interesting way. There's lots of shots of just things still, like without people in them, like the environments and stuff like that. And again, you have these characters who are just talking about the legend and building him up and up and up. And when you finally get the reveal, you're like, oh shit, he's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because he's not like... There's not a huge supernatural element at first. It really kind of seems like he's more of a serial killer. And it isn't until, Yeah,
and I think that's what Helen's thinking.
Yeah.
Is because of the stories that she's getting and these people dying, that it is possible that this person is just a serial killer, that it's not an actual supernatural presence. It's not really the man that was killed centuries ago.
Which, that's the other thing that kind of pisses me off, too, is like, okay, don't believe in the supernatural element of it, but it's like what Bernadette told her. Like, people actually were killed and were murdered.
Yeah.
And so you're just kind of being blasé about that. And then also, along the way, are you trying to get the serial killer's attention? Like, it's just not smart the way she goes about it.
Well, and when they did catch the guy that hit her over the head with the hook, she was, like, patting herself on the back. Oh, we got him. We got him. And she's telling the little boy, you'll be safe because we got him.
Yeah.
And so she kind of just goes skipping along out to the car because she's fine now.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, if that was actually... That's the other thing, too. It's so stupid. If that was actually Candyman, he would have killed her.
Exactly.
But he didn't. So she's, just because she was like a white lady, he decided not to kill her.
Yeah.
She's a very flawed character. Because your opinion of her kind of changes throughout the movie. Because again, she kind of has this ego thing going on. And I understand why she kind of acts arrogant. Because, she's surrounded by people in the field that are just men.
And they're kind of arrogant.
Yeah, and
making her feel like she's not as important.
And condescending.
So it makes sense that she has a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Her husband's just a douche.
And he's cheating on her through the whole movie.
With a student.
Yeah.
So, gross.
Yep.
Gross old men. Gross. And, yeah, so there's a lot of elements to her character. Some of them you can sympathize with. Other ones you just want to slap her upside the head and tell her to use her brain. Because she really wasn't. She was doing some really, really dumb stuff. And she put a lot of people at risk, even though she didn't realize it was an actual, like, supernatural presence that was gutting people.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is when Candyman takes Anna Mae's baby, she kind of gets framed.
Yeah, for sure.
And she ends up in a psych hospital.
Yeah, so then you're sympathizing with her because she's not doing anything wrong. But I think that was the whole purpose of Candyman trying to make her believe in him, is he was putting her in this situation where
she had no one.
She had no one, and she had to turn to him and realize that he was real.
Classic dark romance plot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't read a lot of that, but I mean...
Oh, I don't read any of it, but it is. You know, you've seen the movies where...
So I do want to bring up something. Did you ever watch the Silence of the Lambs movies?
Yeah. Not all of them, but yes.
The books end with Clarice and Hannibal Lecter together.
That doesn't surprise me. The sexual tension between them was...
Right?
Crazy.
Okay, so you remember...
Dude, Hannibal, you'd have done him. I mean, come on. Anthony Hopkins. Oh, his weird, crazy darkness that sucks you in.
He was so obsessed with Clarice, too.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing, is to have someone obsessed with you is a really heady kind of feeling. Like, you ever feel neglected by your man, and then you see, for example, Candyman, and he's so obsessed with Helen, and you're like, God, I wish my man was that obsessed with me.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not that obsessed.
I've never had someone obsessed with me ever in my life, but I've had girlfriends, well, couple, that I have been close to me that have had people that obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I have one friend that she had multiple men in her life say they were going to commit suicide over her. It was crazy.
Wow.
I still don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. I'm sorry, and if she listens to this and she knows who she is, I don't get it. I don't care. Dude, I don't care. No, it's weird. It's weird for me to see people that obsessed.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Vince was in a little bit of a way, but not like that. He could walk away from me. He'd done it before. But other people, yeah, that obsession that makes you feel like, oh,
yeah,
I'm everything to that person.
Yeah, I've never felt like that either.
No.
Because it's not healthy.
No, I don't think I'd want that.
Yeah. But it is a heady feeling, though.
Yeah.
So it's like...
And I think some people do thrive on that.
Yeah.
I think there are people, men and women alike, that's what they like. And that's why they don't have long-term relationships, because they want those people to be completely obsessed with them and nobody else matters.
Yeah, 100% of the time you can't take a break from it.
Yeah. So, yes, it's that delicate balance of you would love someone to almost be obsessed with you, but not quite to the point where it's psychotic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, when she's in the psych ward, he appears to her and is like, just give me one exquisite kiss. You know, and he's kidnapped Anna Mae's baby, and he told Helen, if you give yourself to me, I'll let the baby go.
Let me kill you, and the baby can be safe.
Yeah.
I mean, by now, I don't know if you figured it out, but by now I'm already figuring out what's going on. Like, why he's so obsessed with her, that it's probably something to do with the past.
Yeah, so either she is a reincarnation of the white lady in the past, like when he was alive, or maybe she just looks a lot like her. It's not super clear in the movie. I think they were kind of hinting more towards reincarnation.
Yeah, because at the end, what it says on the wall pretty much tells you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But
it's, you really don't know right up until the end what's going on. I mean, I'm not going to tell you everything. If you've watched it, you know. But there's a lot that goes on throughout this whole movie that you're just kind of like, what is happening? Oh.
So she gets arrested for killing Anna Mae's baby. And there's no body, so they can't actually pin it on her. All they can pin on her is that she killed Anna Mae's dog.
Yeah.
Which was horrible.
That was a horrible scene. Horrible, horrible. Can't kill the animals.
That was
makes me mad.
the truest, most innocent boy.
Yeah.
Very sad. And then he shows up at her house.
Well, her husband gets her out, takes her
Yeah.
home, and her best friend, Candyman shows up at the house first.
Yeah, and she goes to call 911, but
Things just go bad.
yeah.
Like, she's got a knife, and I knew the minute she picked up the knife that she was going to... Because that's what happened at Anna Mae's house. She had a knife because she was going out to see what happened because she woke up covered in blood.
Yeah.
And then she got blamed for killing the dog and stealing the baby.
Yeah.
And then she's at her house and picks up a knife because she hears him, sees him, feels him. And he ends up, like, stabbing her in the neck, just letting her know that he's real.
Mm-hmm.
And her girlfriend shows up. Bernadette shows up.
Yep.
And I don't know why she couldn't talk, but she couldn't talk.
Yeah, it was literally the back of her fucking neck that the fucking hook was in.
But she couldn't say, run, bitch, run.
Or scream. Like, I'm sorry, I would have been, like, throwing, I would have been thrashing, I would have been
I know, I would have been warning you. Get the fuck out, go, run. I'm swearing in my podcast again. Run. I'd have been saying something, and you know if I'm screaming that, you better run. Don't come in to see what's going on. Run. And so then Bernadette comes in.
Yeah, because Candyman wouldn't kill her. Non-consensually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, she was the exception. Like,
he'd kill everybody else. But Helen, he wanted her to give herself to him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to take it. He was going to have her offer.
Yeah.
So then Bernadette gets cut from gullet to groin or groin to gullet.
And then she's covered in blood, has a knife, etc.
So away she goes again.
Yep.
So they put her in the psych ward, and her husband just disappears.
Yeah, she keeps asking for him. She actually, after she hallucinates Candyman.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't actually appear on any of the cameras.
No.
They actually put her under with, like, heavy antipsychotics for a month. So when she wakes up, she thinks it's, like, the next day.
Yeah, she doesn't realize she's lost that much time.
And
of course, so now the baby's still missing for a month.
Yeah.
Candyman's taking care of the baby? Weird.
Yeah.
But anyway.
With the honey that babies can eat.
The honey that babies can eat, yes.
Yeah.
That was something I was like, oh, good. He's killing the baby with honey.
What is it about honey that's dangerous for babies?
Bacteria. Bacteria can cause serious issues.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So they get her up.
She goes to her psychiatrist, and he shows her the video of her thrashing around mid-hallucination.
Honey can cause botulism in babies due to spores from the bacteria Clostridium botulinum.
Botulism?
Mm-hmm. So
like honey you buy from the store?
Yeah, because babies can't fight that. Any baby under 12 months can't fight it, so yeah.
So we just, whenever we eat honey, we're...
Yeah, apparently.
The fuck?
But our bodies can fight it and babies can't.
Huh.
So she's in this office with the doctor.
And he's like, yeah, you just hallucinated. Like, you need to tell me what actually happened with Bernadette. And she can't. She's, like, freaking out. She's upset. It's actually a pretty good, like, emotional scene. But then he's like, I don't think there actually was another killer. Or, whatever. And she's like, I can prove it to you. Which was a fucked up thing to do, by the way.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. She knew what was going to happen. She had to have known.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened how many times now?
So she summons Candyman, and he kills the fuck out of the...
Slices him, groin to gullet.
Yeah.
I'll just keep saying it.
And releases her from her bonds.
Yeah, he totally just cuts her little restraints so she can get out. So here she is again.
Covered in blood.
Covered in blood with another dead person. Her restraints are off. Candyman goes flying backwards out the window and shatters the window. Apparently, I guess that was her escape, so he did it for her.
Yeah.
And away she
well,
goes.
He was like, you know where to find me. Peace out.
Yeah. Flies out backwards like a weird something.
Yeah.
So she goes out, climbs down the window, runs to her apartment, gets to her apartment, and it's being painted pink.
It's the ugliest shade of pink, too.
By the hussy student that's with her husband.
Yeah.
And then the girl starts immediately crying. I laughed about that. She was like, Trevor.
Oh, yeah, his name was fucking Trevor, wasn't it? Stupid name.
That's so mean.
Fuck you, Trevor.
So anyway, she finds out he's having an affair. She scares the hell out of him and the student.
Dude, this is a great scene, too. I was eating this up. It was delicious.
It was very good. Her acting was amazing in this part. She was totally a scorned woman.
Yeah.
That had the power. Because she really had the power.
Yeah. She could have called her boyfriend again.
Yeah. But then she walked away.
She did. She walked away. They called the police or whatever.
Nobody died.
No. There's this scene afterwards where she's just looking out over the river.
Yeah.
And coming to terms with everything.
I thought she was going to jump.
I did too.
Yeah.
She didn't. She went to Cabrini Green to look for Candyman and the baby.
Yep. Because she wanted to save the baby.
Mm-hmm. Which I do want to point out, like, she did not, until this point, she did not try to save the baby. Okay? Do not get it twisted. She did not care about this baby until later on. I swear to God. Because when, like, literally... Yeah, she didn't, I don't know, maybe, okay, to be fair, maybe she didn't have the brain space to worry about the baby. Because
She didn't have much time, though.
being accused of murder.
Yeah,
and shit.
everything was happening. She didn't have much time to actually go try and save the baby.
Yeah. But
So-
there was, like, she spent the night in jail, you know? Like, she never tried to tell the police or her lawyer that she thought somebody had taken the baby.
Yeah, they just kept asking where the baby was. And
Wait, because this is the
and
thing.
she was having flashes, too, like memories. She was seeing things. She was feeling things. Like they were connected.
Yeah.
Her and Candyman.
And the thing was, too, was, like, she could have, at any point, I mean, she didn't have to tell them about, like, the supernatural aspect of it. She could have just been like, yeah, there was this guy
Yeah.
who kidnapped the baby. Like, it wasn't me, you know. But she didn't really try to defend herself all that much, which I found weird.
And when she had gone to Cabrini Green in the first place and was taking pictures, she had climbed through this hole in the wall that was behind a mirror, which that kind of just hit me. It was behind a mirror, and then you summon him, and he comes out a mirror. There you go. Anyway, she climbs in this hall, and she finds a big mural of, like, his screaming face. There's a hole in the wall.
In his mouth.
And it's his mouth screaming. It's kind of cool.
It is cool. The art is cool.
But she keeps flashing back to that. So when she gets out of the psych hospital and goes and finds her husband and realizes she has nothing left, she goes to find him. And he's, of course, in the room with that picture and then others.
Yeah, he's actually, like, passed out or something.
Yeah, he's, like, laying on this big cement
slab
altar thing. And there's pictures on the wall of his story.
Yeah.
Being chased, being murdered, things like that. Mm-hmm. So...
She actually grabs a hook.
Yeah, she just random hooks.
And she goes to kill him with it, but it doesn't work.
No. And then they have a really sexually intense love scene or
Yeah,
whatever was
like-
happening there.
He lays her on the altar and, like, uses his hook to lift up her skirt, and it's so suggestive.
Yeah, yeah.
At
One point said, "Where's that hook?" It's pretty intense, that scene, and it's all just she agreed to save the baby by giving herself to him.
Yeah.
But giving herself to him was very sexually intense.
Yeah, like, nothing happens. They don't have sex.
No,
or
they don't
anything.
have sex, but there's a super tension there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, and he's, like, kissing on her neck, and things are, yeah, it's weird. It's a little weird. Him and his hook. Couldn't he use the other hand? I don't know.
So she thinks he's going to kill her, but then she passes out. And she wakes up.
Everything's just too intense.
Yeah. But she wakes up, and he's gone, and who knows where the baby is.
Yeah.
And people in Cabrini Green had been piling up furniture and wood and scraps and stuff like that. They were going to make a big bonfire. It was, referenced earlier in the movie. And she hears the baby crying, and she realizes the baby is somewhere inside the big structure. And she goes in after the baby.
Climbing with the hook.
Yeah.
Using it for her
and then
leverage.
The boy from earlier just sees the hook, like, in the thing.
Yeah, because she fell down in it.
Yeah, and so he summons the whole neighborhood, and they're good.
Because he said Candyman's here.
And I should have mentioned before, everyone in that area, Anna May says earlier, like, it's not a legend to them. They believe in Candyman.
Yes. And didn't they say that when he was killed that they had burned him then too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway.
So
you can see Helen climbing through the wood towards the baby. She can hear the baby.
Yeah. And Candyman actually...
When she got up to leave to go find the baby, on the wall, it was written, "It was always you, Helen."
Oh, yep, that's right.
And then that freaked her out. And she knew she had to save the baby.
So yeah, they're going to light the fucking pyre on fire, and she's inside.
Baby in it.
And she's trying to find the baby. Candyman tries to prevent her from leaving. She's like, "You lied to me." Which he did.
He did. Yeah. He told her the baby would be safe, but he was going to kill her and the baby.
Which, disappointing, man. Like, I was kind of...
Yeah, I mean, if she was always the one and he really loved her, then he should have kept his promise, even if he took her with him.
Like, literally, if he hadn't endangered the baby again, Helen would have just died then and there.
Yeah.
So he kind of fucked himself over.
Yeah. Yeah, he told her, "I can't let you go. I can't live without, or can't be without you. Our bones will turn to ash and we'll be together forever." And I think, yeah, he messed up.
Yeah, because she, everything's... I mean, this shit lights up immediately, and she's trying to get out, and she catches on fire, and she's protecting the baby the whole time. And
she's on fire.
Yeah. She actually does make it out, but she's horrifically burned. She basically just lives long enough to give the baby back to Anna May.
Yeah.
And Candyman got stuck in the fucking pyre and burned up. So they have a funeral for her. She dies. She succumbs to her wounds. And I guess she was probably kind of exonerated.
No, I just have to say this. The two dead bodies that they really showed in this were Helen and Bernadette. And Bernadette was a woman of color.
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
And her corpse looked so gray and green.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the witch in The Wizard of Oz.
Dude, they straight up gave her Halloween ghoul makeup.
And then Helen, in the casket, they show her, and she's so white.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even explain how white she looks. It was horrible.
Like, they took all the pink out of her skin tone.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was just, yeah, so.
Like, mime white.
It was mime white, 100%. Even her head where the burns were, it's like they painted those with white mime makeup. It was just odd. Weird.
Yeah.
A little bit weird.
So, only a few people show up to her funeral. It's her ex-husband. Well, still her husband.
With his hussy, by the way. Standing there with him.
And she's, like, crying.
Yeah. Come on, man.
And then the professor that she fucking hated.
Yeah, the one that was very condescending towards her.
And then the priest. That's it. But at the end of the funeral, the entire neighborhood of Cabrini Green comes in to show her
because she saved
respect.
the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the little boy actually drops
the hook.
The hook.
Into the hook. Candyman's hook.
Into the grave with her.
Yeah.
Which, it was pretty powerful. One thing that does kind of bother me about this scene, and I'm probably not the person that needs to be complaining about this, but there is, like, this trope of, like, the white savior in movies. And Helen being the one to kind of...
save the day?
Yeah. It's like, really? Like, again, maybe it's not my place, but I feel like it's a little bit tired.
Yeah.
It was only... Like, she's not the one who actually killed Candyman, to be fair.
No, she just got away from him.
Yeah.
The neighborhood killed Candyman.
Yeah.
She did save the baby from Candyman,
She did save the baby.
But she also is the one that put the baby in danger in the first place.
Yeah.
So, therefore, yeah.
Yeah.
I get
it. She just was... She was a complicated character.
Yeah, lots going on there.
Which is good. I love a complicated character because it's like, again, this movie kind of takes you through roller coasters. Like, you sympathize, you're frustrated, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of vindicated because at the end, her ex-husband says her name 5 times in the mirror.
Yeah, because he's distraught. His girlfriend's trying to cook him dinner. She's trying to be all sexy and happy for him. And he's literally sitting in the bathroom crying because he's so sad that Helen's dead. Well, hello, dude. Where were you? And so he looks in the mirror and is like, Helen. Helen. He says it 5 times.
And he goes to leave the bathroom, but he can't. The light turns out, and when it turns back on, Helen's there. And she says, "What's the matter, Trevor? Afraid something's gonna happen?"
Yep.
And then he gets fucking ripped apart.
Grind to gullet.
Yep.
Final revenge for Helen
Yeah.
for the cheating whore that he was.
Yeah, because fuck Trevor.
So yeah, that's Candyman. That's where it was left.
It's a good movie.
I've never seen the second one that apparently is out there, and I tried watching the latest one and I didn't like it as well. But that's just me. I've said this before. Old school. I like the movies that, you know, you want to give me a prequel or a, you know, something like that maybe, but I don't know. I like the originals. Nobody else is Tony Todd, and now nobody else will be because he's gone, but
I wonder if he was a part of the remake, though.
I don't know.
Because I know that character was recast.
Yeah,
but I'm just curious if he was involved at all. She's Googling it.
I am.
So yeah, back to the Hannibal Lecter trilogy, the similar thing happens to Clarice. He destroys her reputation and makes it to where she's totally isolated and has no one. And he's the only one left that she can turn to. And so the original person who played Clarice was Jodie Foster, right?
Yes.
And then Jodie Foster couldn't come back for the sequel. It was that other bitch that I can't remember the name of. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
I don't feel like Googling it.
But I do know who you're talking
anyway,
about. But
yeah,
no, I don't know because I didn't care. Jodie Foster was amazing.
Yeah. Well, she was recast, and that actress hated, because they were gonna write the end just like it was in the book, where she ends up with him, but the actress hated it so much she refused.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So they changed it.
I mean, it is really creepy ending up with a serial killer that eats people. I get it, but that's the way the book was. That's the way it should be. I'm still
It's
looking
more
for this. It's not telling me.
It's a more interesting story that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And it makes more sense narratively. Like, I've seen people talk about Hannibal, because that's the 3rd movie. And it makes Clarice fucks up way worse in the books, too. Like, I think in the 3rd one, they open up with her, like, she accidentally shot a little boy during a hostage situation.
Oh.
But it's worse in the book somehow. I don't remember exactly. So she fucks up worse. And so when they had to, like, do rewrites for the movie, because the actress was being a fucking little bitch about it, none of it made sense, and it fucking bombed. Ah. Yeah.
Tony Todd was in the new Candyman.
Oh, he was.
He was Candyman in it.
He was.
Yeah, it said Tony Todd is Daniel Robitaille, Candyman, a vengeful spirit and originator of the Candyman legend. This film would mark Todd's final appearance as the original version of the character prior to his death in 2024.
No fucking shit.
So maybe I gotta watch it again. Because, you just get into that. Well, this is my movie. I don't want to watch that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what the reviews were on the Candyman 2021 film. I don't know. But Tony Todd was in it, so.
I bet with, like, some prominent, like, black storytellers behind it, maybe it becomes less of a white savior trope.
Rotten Tomatoes was 84%. So it might be worth watching. IMDb was only 5.9, but.
This is the thing, is you can't always trust critics.
No, for sure. There's been a lot of movies that I've watched that I thought were phenomenal. Or maybe not even phenomenal. But I really enjoyed them. They were very good. And critics have said, no.
Yeah, this might ruin my reputation for some people, but The Village, M. Night Shyamalan,
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that movie.
The Village is creepy.
I love that movie. I like the twist in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works. I think it's atmospheric and creepy. And
No, the twist in it really threw me off.
a lot of people hate the twist, like think it's stupid, but I don't know. I can believe it, especially these days.
I don't enjoy a lot of M. Night Shyamalan's movies. I always think I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I'm always kind of really let down.
This is the thing, is he always has really good concepts, and then the execution is kind of garbo.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me sad because you see like a trailer and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so good. And then I watch it and,
Fucking Unbreakable was so good.
Unbreakable was really good.
The Sixth Sense, so good.
That was an amazing movie. Yeah.
And we've talked about Signs before. That movie...
Yeah, Sign scares the hell out of me. Creepy.
It's one of the things that gave me my alien phobia, man.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it is stupid, though. Their
Yeah.
weakness is water, and the Earth is literally 75% water.
Maybe they got lost.
Well, they're dumb bitches.
That happens.
They're dumb, lost bitches.
We've been lost before.
Not that bad.
No.
We don't
Not
have
literally on a planet that's going to kill me.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So, yeah, that's Candyman.
Yes. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
It's a good movie.
Pay tribute to Tony Todd.
Even if you don't like horror movies, if you're more of a dark romance girly, I'm telling you, there's things in here for you.
There's not a lot of gore either. There's just very few scenes that the dog scene and a couple where they're killed, but it's not all gore and gross. And again, you don't even see the killer until halfway through the movie or later. So it's interesting. It's a cool concept. I'm hoping to read the story. Sydney found it.
It's called The Forbidden. Funny story, I was looking for it on lunch, and I just typed in The Forbidden into my library app like a dumb idiot. It did not come up. It was a lot of romance stuff.
Yeah, I looked that up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first thing I did. I thought, well, maybe I can find it. No.
It's a short story, so it's part of a collection, and the collection actually, I guess, is pretty hard to find. I was seeing different Reddit posts talking about how it's kind of difficult to find. I also saw a couple comments on Reddit about how different the short story is from the movie.
Well, they did say it was loosely based on it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, but yeah.
But his signature weird sex thing that he has. I don't know what he's got going on, but it's there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't miss it.
The next movie we're going to be talking about will be published on Thanksgiving, and it's a Thanksgiving horror movie. And
I haven't even looked it up yet to know. I know you sent it to me, but I haven't looked it up yet.
keeping it a secret because I don't. It's a hidden gem. The reviews on it are not that good, which is a shame because I love this movie a lot. Watched it a couple of years ago during a Halloween movie bash thing that we did, and it's not technically a Halloween movie. It's technically a Thanksgiving movie, interestingly, but it's super good. So look out for that.
There you go.
Today the pod, tomorrow the world. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks.